Evercoat seam sealers are designed to offer ease of use, fast set times, and productive paint times. This video will cover the differences in the two seam sealers, approved substrates, proper application techniques, locations for use, and suggestion for replicating a variety of factory seams. The most notable difference between the two seam sealers is the viscosity. Evercoat's heavy-bodied seam sealer number 6022 is a non-sag heavy-bodied seam sealer. Evercoat's control flow seam sealer number 6023 is a heavy to medium-bodied partial flow seam sealer. As you can see, number 6022 is a thick-bodied material that stays where it was applied, while number 6023 has a slight or controlled flow to it. Both seam sealers are paintable at 30 minutes with productive work times for most applications. Because of the variety of ways to use these materials, they can be used to replicate a variety of factory seams over a wide range of locations on today's vehicles, such as roof ditch seams, door seams, and floor seams, and truck seams. These products can also be used to match the factory seams found in many truck beds. Heavy-bodied number 6022 and control flow number 6023 seam sealers can be used over properly prepared cured paint, 2K primers, E-coat, and bare metal. We'll begin by showing how to use heavy-bodied seam sealer number 6022 and control flow seam sealer number 6023. Apply a two-component primer surfacer according to paint manufacturer's recommendations. Allow primer to fully cure. Lightly scuff the primer with 320 grit or a red scuff pad. If any bare metal is exposed, this will be fine because the heavy-bodied number 6022 and control flow number 6023 seam sealers can be applied directly to bare metal. Then use clean compressed air to remove the dust. Re-clean the area with a solvent cleaner. Before using heavy-bodied number 6022 or control flow number 6023 seam sealers, equalize the cartridge before use. Insert the cartridge into the dispensing gun. Remove the protective cap. Remove the plug. Dispense a small amount of product to ensure even flow of both materials. Attach the static mixing tip number 817 and dispense a bead of material equal to the length of the static mixing tip. Apply epoxy seam sealers at an ambient temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius or above. Each application will be different, so compare the seams from front to back or from one side to the other to match the factory seam. For this example, we will use number 6022 to replicate a small bead around the perimeter of the door over the hem flange. To help match the factory look for an intricate seam, use a plastic spreader to create a template. Begin by lightly scoring the spreader to match the width of the factory seam from the opposite panel. Now, warm the spreader with a lighter or a small butane torch. Allow the plastic to cool. This mold can be used to replicate the factory seam on the repaired panel. Begin by applying a small amount of heavy-bodied seam sealer and use the mold to replicate the factory shape along the edge of the panel. Heavy-bodied number 6022 can also be used to replicate a variety of other seams, such as a smooth seam, brushed seam, or other textures. Another type of seam that can be difficult to replicate is a continuous smooth half-round bead. This can be done by masking off where the seam will be. Leave an area about 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters. Bead the number 6023 between the tape and allow it to flow up to and slightly over the tape. Then, remove the tape at a slight angle to the surface and watch edge round off. To replicate a taped seam, mask off just as before and leave a wider gap. This can be done to replicate an irregular seam. Apply the number 6023 as before, then use a spreader to smooth out the surface. Remove the tape, and the edges will round off without leaving a sharp edge. Another use for number 6023 is to fill in a channel. When number 6023 is applied into a channel, it will leave a slight crest over the surface. To eliminate the crest and create a slight meniscus or bevel, flow the material out with a small brush or use heat as necessary to help flow the material. Allow 30 minutes and prime according to your paint company's recommendations. For more information on Evercoat seam sealers or other Evercoat products, contact your local Evercoat distributor or go to evercoat.com for more information.